everyone. This is absolutely fantastic. So far, we've had some great speakers before us that have done an excellent job. And Carol Barnes, hats off to you for putting this program together today. My part, I'm going to talk about today, although I do breakouts and breakout sessions and keynotes on different things. We're going to talk about the power of diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Along the ways, all the years that we've had, under education, we've been taught things and misbeliefs about what life is really about. So it's time to change that. It's time to put education in the forefront and to include diversity in that education, to let people know across the country how important other people have been from backgrounds across the world who've come here together and blended to make this country what it is. Workplaces have not done that, schools have not done that. So we have to push forward and understand and value everyone and their beliefs and what they believe in or don't believe in. Another point in America is that we have separated ourselves on religious beliefs. It's fine to have something that you believe in, but you should not believe in it so much that you hate other people. Religion is not about separating or dividing people. And what we need to do is learn how to get along with each other on this ball of dirt that we all live on. Of course, we talk about policies and diversity also. The policies have been written to exclude or to include a certain group of people as far as housing has been concerned over the years, and what we've done to separate and to cause ghettos and barrios and different neighborhoods. So this information needs to be brought to people so that they understand that the living conditions that some people are in now are not necessarily because they decided to live like that, but because the policies made them and put them in a position. So we have to learn how to live and get along with people, have equal rights for all people, and access this empowerment. And then you can see the sign that I put up there that talks about what diversity really is. It's about gender, it's about race, it's about backgrounds, it's about all kinds of people coming together, different sexual orientations, and learning how to love each other for who we are. That's our motto in life. Diversity and inclusion, creating a best place to work. If you are at a place that's hostile for different groups or types of people, we want to come to you and give you some lessons and talk to you about how to make a place a better place to work, and we can do that. It's called keeping the main thing the main thing. This is what we have to do in life. We get all frustrated about politics today, about who does this and who does that, who's in this position. Keep focused on who we are and what we're about, and the positive thinking to build our dreams and to build our dream books. Positive thinking will move us in a direction in our lives and help us solve all these problems that benefit us and others and support the system that we live in. We need to set goals as far as our businesses are concerned for achievement to include diversity and inclusion. We need to rewrite and rewire our brains in the way that we think. Getting back and standing back and saying hurtful things about groups of people or making jokes, those times should be gone, and we erase those forever. Positive thinking and positive comments about people are contagious. So we have to learn how to say that we are going to do great in this world. As Martin Luther King used to say, the time is always right to do what is right. And that's what we have to do. The time is always right to do what is right. And if we do right by ourselves, we'll do right by others. This is our commitment. I work with a lot of young people, and so I love this because it says diversity is getting an invitation to the party. Just think about that, getting an invitation. And inclusion is being asked to dance once you get there. Having an invitation to the party reminds me of the motor company, and I'm going to mention it, Chevrolet, that decided that they were going to take these cars, this excess of cars that they had, and they were going to build them down in Mexico. And this Chevy Nova. And so they decided they were going to do this rather than saying to somebody who was from Mexico or somebody who was Spanish speaking, what do you think about this? And that would be the inclusion, to invite them to be on the board rather than just laborers that were working to build the cars. They took all this cars, took all this money, and got down there, and sales didn't go, didn't move. And they couldn't figure out why until somebody translated what Chevy Nova meant. Nova meant no go. And who would want to buy a car who's nicknamed No Go? So we lost a lot of money, lost a lot of time, when if we had somebody who we had included in the decision making, maybe we would have made the proper decisions. In this world today, we're still in battling old battles, and we try to talk about whose responsibility. We can't point the finger at anybody. Matter of fact, if you point your finger now at someone and point it and say, it's your fault, well, you have to look at your hand. I have one finger pointing away from me, and I have three more fingers pointing right back at me. So anytime I decide to point my finger at somebody else, three times as much comes back to me. We want to say, I don't like my boss. I don't like the person I'm working for. Well, have you ever thought for a minute that it might not be your boss's fault, that it might just be your fault because you're not the good employee? People talk about their kids. I hate my children, or I hate my kids. They're just so bad. Have you ever thought maybe that your parenting skills weren't as good as they should be? And maybe it's not the child's fault. Maybe it's your fault for doing something and not teaching them the appropriate way to act in this world that we have today. So what we have to look at is say, anything that we have that is a problem, whose fault really is it? Is it my fault or your fault? We quit pointing the finger at other people. Commit to real change in the way that you think and you act every day. Set goals, manageable goals, to build momentum and be involved. Practice rethinking situations until the positive thinking becomes habitual to you. Teach negative people and your life by your examples of being good and not saying negative things, and getting involved in gossip, getting involved in demeaning people, getting involved in saying bad things. This is what we must do. We have to be strong enough to stand up for something. We've seen over the last several years that there's been a lot of people who are protesting now about this or about that. But let's be strong enough to stand up for something that we believe in. If you believe that something is going wrong in your life, then do something that is right. I applaud the people the other day who went back and looked at the film and the clip of the person, the Asian person that was being knocked down, the elderly lady. And then they had the video cameras of the people who were standing on the inside of a shop, who closed their doors rather than go out and help this individual who was lying on the sidewalk. Well, come to find out that they reviewed that video and they said that these employees, that you're going to have to go. You can't close the door on other people. You have to stand up. We have to help our fellow members in this world. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for doing something that's positive. As the young lady who was at the inauguration, Amanda, said, it's not what stands between us, but what stands before us that is important in this world. We talk about being the best that we are. We are a great country. We are doing great things, but can we take it to another level? And that's what we need to do each day, to understand, excuse me, that we can take it to another level, that we can go from good to better to best anytime that we want to. And this is some of the things that we must do to make our life important and move on. So what I have to say to you today is there's a lot of people who've been involved in life, who've been involved in different things. And what we want to do is make sure that we do the positive things to be successful in this world. I'm always reminded by the experiences of other people. I had a chance to meet Jesse Owens right here in Columbus, Ohio. In 1970, I picked up Jesse Owens and drove Jesse Owens to Cleveland, Ohio, where he made a presentation. Jesse Owens, a fantastic individual. and got to meet him on a more personal level. He talked about his life. He showed his Olympic medals. He said, the Olympic medals they gave me have tarnished now. The Olympic tree that I had has died, and Hitler refused to shake my hand. But I came away with something greater than that. I came away with the knowledge that there's nobody born superior or inferior to you, that you can accomplish anything you want to in life if you put your mind to it. Just like Cedric King talked about it and fighting back against those odds that he had. What we have to do is learn how to eliminate those negative thoughts and move forward. Also had a chance to meet Wilma Rudolph, one of the great individuals. She won 3 gold medals in the Women's Olympics. Here's a woman who was born 1 out of 22. 21 brothers and sisters in Clarksville, Tennessee. She had the power and resistance to fight back. They said, Wilma, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so they nicknamed her Skeeter because her legs were as skinny as little mosquito legs. But she said, I'm not going to give up. She kept practicing every day, walking and trying to run with those braces until finally, by the time she got to the middle school, she didn't need those braces at all. When she got to the high school, she tried out for the girls' basketball team and the track team and became a successful athlete. They saw her out of high school, asked her to attend Tennessee University. She did, excuse me, and she became a great star with the Lady Tiger Bells winning records. They invited her to the Olympics and she won 3 gold medals. A crippled girl, 1 out of 22, born into poverty, had polio, fought against the odds, fought back, and became successful. I know in my heart, if she can do it, the world can do it. We can accomplish anything. And look what we would have lost if we didn't have diversity and we didn't include her in the Olympics, nor Jesse Owens. One of my great friends that passed away, Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's. Here's an individual who fought back against the odds also. You know, there's a lot of people who have speech impediments or who have difficulties. He had a speech impediment. And usually during those times when you had some kind of difficulty, they put you in special classes. They made fun of you. They talked about you on the playgrounds. And naturally, they did that to Dave Thomas. But, you know, he fought back. He said, I'm going to be somebody. Even though he dropped out of school in the 9th grade, the embarrassment of being a stutterer. But he found a way. He started working for the Colonel Sanders, the Kentucky Fried Chicken. He developed the drive-through window. And out of that, he got the resources and the money to start his own Wendy's at 257 East Broad Street in my hometown of Columbus, Ohio, became a successful entrepreneur, fought his way back, but he believed in diversity. He believed in including people in his business. One of the things that I loved about him so much is that when you got a job or you got a franchise, he said you got to work from the bottom up. You got to learn how to clean the grill. You got to learn how to make hamburgers. You just can't own it. We got to teach you everything about it so you can be successful. And that's what we need to do in our society. Teach people everything about what we are doing. I had the opportunity to meet so many great people, so many diverse people around the world. Our country wouldn't be what we are today if we didn't take the time to build it and build it in the proper manner and include people in their greatness and include people in our diversity. What can we do? We're good. We can take it to another level. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until my good becomes better and my better becomes best. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until my good becomes better and my better becomes best. That's what we need to do to become the best that we are.